Hi everybody, Ali Akbarian back again for another Q&A, your resident road safety expert out at Mobility Engineering. Thanks for tuning in once again and thanks for sending in your questions. We love hearing your questions, so please send them in. As always, we'll find out the information, we'll do the research, and we'll get back to you and launch a video for yourself and the rest of the industry to benefit. So please send in those questions, and also, as I always say, please hit that button that looks a bit like this. Respect the subscribe pillow. We want to reach 1,000 subscribers. It's a big dream. We're at 30 something now, so please support that and maybe one day we'll get there. But in the meantime, let's just get on to the questions and answers and improve that road safety. So today's question comes from Dora, who's an OT, and she has asked, in regards to safe practice with transporting manual wheelchair in a multi-purpose taxi, is there a safety recommendation with the tilting space function? So there's a whole bunch of other information and background information to this case. And basically what we have is an occupant who's in a wheelchair who is tilting back while they're in transport, and they tilt back for comfort and basically other reasons that they are required to tilt back for their condition. And so there has been questions raised by drivers or other people to say, oh, we don't want to tilt them back because we think it's dangerous or illegal, or there's something wrong with tilting back in the form of transport. So what's the answer? What do we need to do? So we've got all that information for you today, but the first thing I'm going to do is try and explain to you what is tilt in space. So I've got a seat here, and we can pretend this is a wheelchair seat or any kind of seat, it doesn't really matter. But what tilt in space means is when I tilt it, the tilt actually moves and the bottom of the seat moves as well. So the whole thing moves. So that is what tilt in space is. And we're going to talk about tilt in space, and in general tilt in space is okay because the whole seat is moving up. Now, a standard tilt on a vehicle is basically when your seat back moves back like so. So if I turn this around, you'll see that this is tilting back quite a fair bit. Now that is normal tilt. The other one is tilt in space. So tilt in space is when the whole base tilts up, and this is just standard tilt. Now we're going to only talk about tilt in space because standard tilt with the tilt on the backrest is a little bit more complicated, and it's case-by-case scenario, so we will need a lot more information about a tilt case rather than a tilt in space case to be able to give that information. So if you do have a normal tilt situation and you want the question answered, fire it in, we'll find out the information and we'll get you the answer. But today we're talking about a tilt in space situation. So, what's the issue and can you tilt? So first of all, from a legal point of view and a road rules point of view and a design point of view, just like a normal car, like a normal car seat like this one here has a tilt function, so may a wheelchair, and that's fine, and there is actually nothing wrong with it. In the laws and regulations around design and around laws and road rules and all of the laws that we've looked at, there is nothing that's stopping you from doing tilt. We've actually got products that are made for wheelchairs, that seats that sit on wheelchairs, that tilt, and they have all been tested to the right standards, so no problems from a legal point of view. The only thing I would mention is some safety things to be aware of, and some little considerations to consider to make sure that you're doing the best thing in terms of safety and the right thing by the child. So, first of all, check with your wheelchair manufacturer and check the instructions. They actually might have an instruction in there that says do not use it in transport when tilted. If they've got that instruction in there that says do not use it in transport when tilted, then you can't use it in transport when tilted. That's basically the bottom line. The manufacturer does all their testing, they do all their development, they know what goes into their product, so unless you want to go and retest it and recheck it and do all that, which is thousands of dollars and probably not really practical, you're just not going to tilt, right? That's basically the bottom line. But if the manufacturer doesn't mention anything about that in transport, then you will assume it's okay to tilt. It might even say it's okay to tilt in the instructions, but it might not say. If it doesn't say, then you assume it's okay to tilt it in transport. So when we are tilting, what we typically find, so if I tilt this thing back, one of the issues that I might have is I'll have a seatbelt normally sitting here, and if I tilt back, then the seatbelt might sit out here, and I might be sitting out there. Now, if that's the case, that could be quite dangerous. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that as far as we tilt, the seatbelt still engages on my body, or is still going to safely engage on my body as close as possibly can in the event of an accident. So, and as we've spoken about in videos before and in our training packages, is that seatbelts must sit on the hard bony section of the shoulder there, so it sits right there, goes all the way down, and then onto the lap part of the portion there as well, onto the hard bony section of the hips. So if that can still happen, goes up there and goes down there and all the way through there, then you've really got no problem. And as long as your manufacturer of your seat and your wheelchair says it's okay, or if it doesn't say anything, then you assume it's okay, then from a legal and regulatory and OH&S and all of those kind of things, there's no issues around that. So hopefully that answers your questions, and hopefully provides a bit of clarity around the tilting and traveling when you're tilting. And as I've said before, guys, please, thank you very much for sending this question in, and please send in more. We love to answer the questions. We get them all the time, and we want to just get more and more. We want to help this industry out, make sure we level out all the issues, iron out all the creases, and make sure everybody has the right information and is making the right informed decisions for themselves and for their clients. So thanks again, and last but not least, remember the pillow. Remember the pillow. Remember the button down there. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board, and you'll know basically when all our videos come out, and you'll stay up to date with all the latest in the industry and all the latest products and trends that are coming out as we release that content this year. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.